Alright, let's dive into something that's been on my mind lately. And no, it's not just the usual climate change doomscrolling. It's about the Mediterranean Sea, a place that's been romanticized in history, art, and our collective imagination. But here's the kicker: the Mediterranean we know is changing, and not in a way that's going to make it onto a postcard anytime soon. Personally, I think this is one of those stories that feels both distant and alarmingly close to home, and it's got me thinking about what it means for ecosystems, cultures, and even our dinner plates. So, here's the deal: the Mediterranean is warming up, fast. And I don't mean just a few degrees that make it nicer for tourists. We're talking about a sea that's becoming a hot tub for invasive species, thanks to climate change. What makes this really interesting is that it's not just about the fish. It's about the entire balance of an ecosystem that's been stable for centuries. Scientists are saying that hundreds of new species are moving in, and they're not exactly playing nice with the locals. From my perspective, this is a classic example of how climate change isn't just melting ice caps or causing wildfires. It's reshaping entire ecosystems in ways we are only beginning to understand. The Mediterranean isn't just a body of water. It's a cultural icon, a source of livelihood for millions, and a biodiversity hotspot. Now, imagine that identity being rewritten by species that don't belong there. One thing that immediately stands out is how this isn't just an environmental issue. It's an economic and cultural one too. Fishermen who've relied on native species for generations are now seeing their catches change, and that's a big deal. What many people don't realize is that invasive species aren't just moving in because the water's warmer. The Mediterranean is connected to the Red Sea through the Suez Canal, and that's become a highway for species that are essentially colonizing a new territory. If you take a step back and think about it, this is a man-made problem on top of a natural one. We built the canal, we are driving climate change, and now we are dealing with the consequences. A detail I find fascinating is how some of these invasive species are actually thriving in the warmer waters, while native species are struggling to adapt. It's like a real-time experiment in survival of the fittest, but with humans as the catalyst. What this really suggests is that we are not just observers in this story. We are the main characters, and not in a good way. This raises a deeper question. What does it mean for a place to lose its identity? The Mediterranean isn't just a sea. It's a way of life, a cuisine, a history. If the fish change, does the culture change too? Personally, I think that's the scariest part. It's not just about losing species. It's about losing a connection to the past. So, where does this leave us? In my opinion, this is a wake-up call that we can't afford to ignore. It's not just about saving fish. It's about saving the stories, traditions, and livelihoods that depend on them. If we don't act, the Mediterranean of our ancestors will be gone for good, replaced by something unrecognizable. And that's a future I don't want to see. What do you think? Is this just another symptom of a bigger problem? Or is there something unique about this story that demands our attention? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts.